Today we're going to make a leather-covered bench. The structure for this bench is going to be made out of a piece of 3/4 inch thick plywood. I used my circular saw to cut a piece of plywood that was about 1 foot wide and 4 feet long. The padding for the bench is made out of a material called Kaizen foam. I'll put a link to it in the description box below. I used my kiwi knife to cut a piece of foam for the top of the bench. Now this piece is about 1.5 inches wider than the piece of plywood. I then cut 2 strips that were 3/4 of an inch wide. These strips will cover the edges of the plywood so that your legs will never bump into the wood. I used spray adhesive to glue the foam and the plywood together. I'm going to cover the bench in a hide that I got from Tandy Leather. I just placed the plywood and foam on it and then used scissors to cut around it, leaving about 5 inches beyond the perimeter of the bench. I used some painter's tape to hold the leather in place so that I could stretch it nice and tight, and then use my staple gun to fasten it to the plywood. Some of these 1/2 inch long staples didn't go all the way in, so I just used a hammer to pound them the rest of the way. I'm going to use 16-inch long legs as the legs for the bench. Now, the leather has a little bit of a thickness, so I cut some spacer pieces of leather out of some scraps so that the legs wouldn't be at an angle between the leather and the plywood. I used my knife to cut a little slit in the leather before driving the screw through. Otherwise, the screw can catch on the leather and kind of twist it around. Parts where the leather's folded over itself are a little bit bulky. So again, I just cut some slots with my knife and then drove some screws in those areas as well to kind of pull the leather close to the plywood. This is a really easy DIY project that would be great at a dining table or in an entryway. For more information, check out our website, and if you want to see what we're working on next, be sure to follow us on Instagram. Check out some of our other videos, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thanks! Bye!